characterize it as a 34-year-old coach or a 34-year-old coach with experience. I'm a football coach.
Mike,
how prepared are you, Mike, you think, for the scrutiny you'll be under with this job? I mean, if you get a fender bender in the parking lot at Giant Eagle, it's going to lead to 5 o'clock news. I mean, are you prepared for everything that is going to come with being the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I guess I have some sense of that, but you know it comes with the territory, and that's okay.
Can you tell us how you got the news and how that all transpired over the weekend?
I was standing in my basement watching a football game, and Star Rooney called me. And needless to say, I took the call and was very excited. Tried not to show him, but you know, it was a great family time. You know, we were in the basement with our three children watching football like a lot of families on Sundays this time of year. It was awesome.
So what happened yesterday afternoon?
Yes.
About a possible coaching staff. Do you know any of the current Steelers coaches, and have you spoke to anyone else besides Dick LeBeau?
Yes, I do know quite a few of the guys on staff. You know, coaching itself is a big fraternity, and there's mutual respect. You know guys through competition and conferences and things of that nature. Matters. I think that'll sort itself out here over the next few days.
Mike, how many times have you been to Pittsburgh, and what do you know about the city?
I came to the city when I was about 12 to play in a Little League football game, rode the inclines and those things. But you know, some of my roommates in college were Pittsburgh guys, Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon guys, and so know quite a bit about the attitude of people from the city and the great deal of pride that they have about being from here. And look forward to learning more.
Mike, you had not heard anything that Saturday from the Rooneys. It was Sunday during the games. That was the first time you contacted them?
Yes.
Mike, what's your schedule now? You go to Mobile, Alabama? Maybe look at coaches down there?
Yes, and there's some players down there as well. I think that's job one. Coach is overrated, man. You got good players, you got a chance. Yeah, we fly to Mobile tomorrow morning to just get rolling with the process.
Is that Mike, a place where you'll interview coaches, though? Will you look at candidates?
I'll talk with some men, yes.
Mike, what's your thoughts of and plans for Ben Roethlisberger?
Excuse me?
Your thoughts of and plans for Ben Roethlisberger, how you plan to utilize him?
He's a very talented quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. You know, like any other position, in any other part of this team, we need to be fundamentalists in how we approach our business. We need to be students of the game. Look forward to working with Ben in that regard. But excited about having the opportunity to work with a young man who's very talented and has also had some of the life experiences in terms of being a professional athlete that he's had.
Mike,
he's been a world champion.
Mike, how much authority do you have over personnel decisions, bringing in guys, making decisions on roster cuts, that kind of thing?
You know, we'll detail some of those things up here as we go down the line. But the one thing that turned me on about this organization is that it's a collective effort in terms of how we do things. Nothing is heaped upon one specific person. I look forward to working with Kevin on personnel matters, and excited about that. Really am.
Mike, when you look back at the end,
as it relates to Kevin specifically, regardless of 4-3-3-4, whatever scheme, did you find yourself from the outset to be pretty much philosophically consistent with him and vice versa as you look at players not only in the roster now but down the road, the second Senior Bowl and so forth?
I think that our collective vision is going to grow as we continue to work together. I think our core beliefs in regards to football are very similar, and that's probably why I am standing here. But some of those things will be addressed over time as we find a comfort zone and work with one another.
How does a wide receiver in college develop an attitude that he likes to run the ball and coach defense?
Well, I wasn't a very good wide receiver. You know, playing personality and coaching personality is two different things. I've learned that over time, and that happens to be my coaching personality.
Michael,
have any players called you yet? Have you called any players yet? And when will you meet with the team?
Haven't spoken with any players. That'll happen here, I'm sure, over the course of the next couple of days.
Mike, although you want to defer any conversation about assistant coaches, the fact that you've got a young franchise quarterback, will continuity be a factor in whom you select with your offensive staff so that Ben can have some continuity?
Continuity is a factor. It's not the only factor. We're looking for good men who happen to be good coaches.
Mike, your rapid ascension speaks well of your abilities. There might be fans out there concerned that you've only had 1 year as an actual coordinator at the NFL level. I know you addressed your age a little bit, but could you speak to any concerns fans might have about that?
I can't worry about concerns that other people might have. I've been hired to do a job here, and I intend to do it at a high level.
Back in 2002, you helped Rondé Barber and John Lynch get to the Pro Bowl with Tampa Bay. Now, with the current backfield here in the secondary, can you do the same with the Steelers?
I think that's just hardware that you earn along the way as you compete for championships, and that has to be our goal, to put consistently winning football teams on the field and compete for championships on a year-in, year-out basis. Things like division championships or personal accolades, that's just hardware that you pick up along the way.
Mike, when you're scouting players, you mentioned that you would have the current players do what they do best and fit them into the team. But when you're scouting players, do you scout for 3-4 players or 4-3 players?
I think, and again, I'm not avoiding the question. I think that as coaches, we have to be flexible schematically to do what our guys do well. I think that if we say that this is our personality and this is all we're looking for in terms of a player, that we might miss out on someone that has special skills. It is going to be a blending of both if we don't have a chance to be consistently good over a long period of time.
So you can see yourself maybe more playing the 4-3 and 3-4 in the same game, switching to the fronts, or?
Sure.
Coach, for a long time, that trophy case in there with the 4 Super Bowl trophies, that kind of hung over this franchise, and they finally put a 5th one in there. As you walk by that case now, as the man in charge of putting the next one in there, does that serve as motivation, a little pressure? How do you look at that as a symbol that you walk by every day?
You know, I just walked by it one day, but just purely motivation. You know, I guess all you wanted as a coach is to be a part of something special. And it's obvious what's been done here has been special. And we want to be a part of that legacy, that history. Honored to be here and look forward to pursuing those goals.
Do you have a team that can contend for the Super Bowl this year, Mike?
I think it's going to be our goal to contend for whatever it is.
Coach,
the skeptics.
You called Coach Dungy a life mentor, I believe was the term you used, and a lot of us in this room have known Coach Dungy for a long time. You've even used a couple of phrases that he uses in some of his news conferences. Is it fair to characterize it as saying the Steelers might be getting a Coach Dungy-like coach?
No, I'm not going to give myself that much credit. You know, Coach Dungy is Coach Dungy. He's been very helpful to me, but at the same time, I have to be myself.
For the skeptics, why should they feel good about Mike Tomlin being the head coach of the Steelers?
You know, I promise that I'm going to be blue collar in how I go about this business. We'll be thoughtful in terms of the decisions that we make. And we're going to work extremely hard. We're going to work smart.
Mike, have you spoken with Russ Green?
Have not.
You plan to do that soon?
I'm sure I will.
3 more questions, please.
Hey, Mike, your qualifications speak for themselves, but there's this thing called the Rooney Rule. Have you been interviewed here for Pittsburgh, if not for that rule issue or anything?
I personally can't answer that. Speaking to the Rooney Rule, you know, I think it's a positive thing. Gives people an opportunity to present themselves, their ideas, their visions. The decisions that people make after that, I think, are totally based on who they think is capable of doing the job. So, you know, I think it's been an awesome experience. Maybe the rule itself opened the door for me that may have not been open if it had not been for the rule. But I think once you get into the competition phase of it and you compete for work, that men like the Rudies want to win, and they want to put people in position that give their team the best chance to do that.
2 more questions?
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Have you thought about the company that you keep?
No, I try not to. You know, I'm somewhat of a football historian. Got a great deal of respect for those that have come before me, and just look forward to maybe doing my part and maybe provide a shoulder for those that come after me to stand with.
If you're a historian, Mike, have you traced your tree all the way back?
Yes.
You know who sits at the top?
Yes.
Go ahead. Who is it?
I'm sorry?
Who is it? Who sits at the top of your tree?
Of my
all
tree?
the way back, yeah.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
It just depends on what phase of my tree you're
Well, if you go back from Dungy, Knoll, Paul Brown, Jock Sutherland, Pop Warner, 5 degrees removed from Pop Warner.
Oh, boy. We're reaching now.